Hey everybody, TheMidnightMyers here. Today with a nice Cyberpunk video, the first of its kind on my channel, and I will be reviewing which is the fastest Type 66 car, weaponized or otherwise, and as I like to call them, the death metal Mustangs. Which one is gonna be the fastest? Now we're gonna go over the major few that I bought. I bought all the ones in the store, and I found one called the Hoon out in the wild on a Delamain mission. We're going to be going over these and see which one is the fastest. I love the way these things drift. The handling's a little wonky, so you can fishtail it a lot. We're going to start off with the Adventure and see how fast it can go. I like the takeoff, I like the handling. Like I was saying earlier, these are always fun to drift around in and just hit the X button every time you're coming up to a turn just to see if you can turn into a movie style drift or you just end up fishtailing it into a pile of pedestrians like an asshole. It's always a good time with this car. The weaponized versions are pretty fun too, and you'll see later in the video just exactly how fishtailing can come in handy. But it looks like we're topping out 189. Whoop. Now if you can see that there, we hit 190. 190 was the max on that. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to move to the next vehicle. Now, the next one on the list we're going to be doing is the Wingate. Now, the Wingate is one of those weaponized Mustangs that we got on here. This one is the store-bought version of the Hoon. Like I said, you find the Hoon on a Delamain mission out in the Badlands, or not in the Badlands, out near the oil fields. This one you can just straight buy out the dealership after having a certain amount of street cred. Now, as I'm going, I realize that there's no speedometer in these ones, so the first-person view isn't as immersive. But I do like the high-pitched squealing of like the turbo kicking in whenever you're hauling ass down the road in it. It just adds like a certain level of immersion and anxiety to how fast you're going. We're at 179, 180. And we get going a little bit faster, but no. So now we're moving on again. Now this one you can actually win in a street race mission. On the old versions you could just find it and buy it, but this one you actually have to win first place in a street race together. Now this is one of my favorite looking of the Type 66s, but you'll come to see real quick it starts maxing out pretty early on. I mean, 146 going uphill. We're going to start catching a downhill here. But it's not looking like we're going to make it past 160. No, we're topped out at 156. And that's just disappointing. I mean, for a Dukes of Hazzard ripoff, or not ripoff, homage, I should say, that car should be significantly faster if you're going, to replicate that kind of car. So now we're moving on again to the Javelin. Now the Javelin, it is another store-bought. It's weaponized. And it has the same feel as the Hoon and the store-bought counterpart. Again, no speedometer, so we're going to have to go into third person here as we get going down the road. You do notice, after doing these driving videos, that whenever you're shifting, it changes speeds. And it looks like we're getting here about 183? 183. Yeah, whenever you shift, the speed drops a couple miles an hour and then builds back up. And I just, it annoys me. Well, it looks like we're actually going to have to call it here and you're gonna have to stick around for part 2 because I was calling in the Hoon to do the rest of this video, and you know, a little bit of trouble arised. May or may not have to done with the weaponized car that I just had. We're steady trying to get away, and I was like, you know, this is gonna add some excitement to the video and whatnot. But trying to get top speed in the middle of a chase just ended up with instances like and I constantly kept getting derailed and exploding. So it's been a good time, guys. I'm glad you came here for the video. I'm glad you're going to see these cars being ranked. Come back for part 2. It's your boy Midnight Myers. Have a good night.